How's it? Today's Saturday, August 5th, and your boy is deadlifting kind of today. I also did some bench presses for today. I wanted to see if I could deadlift, and that's a very, very big thing for me because deadlifting was basically like 2 weeks ago was impossible. I couldn't bend down to put the weights on the bar, and I couldn't bend down to pick up the bar, like straight up. And I don't I'm not there yet, but I am doing a Romanian deadlift today, which is definitely a variation of the deadlift that I usually would do RDLs on snatch days with snatch grip RDL. Basically, it would create a little extra range of motion for the snatch with the snatch grip. And honestly, I loved when I did those in my regular workouts, but just being able to move in a way that is reminiscent of a standard deadlift is a positive for me. So you can see here, I'm not the best in my starting position. I'm not the strongest, but what I'm really trying to do is to keep my lower back neutral or extended. Neutral at worst. If I drop into some amount of flexion, that's usually when it starts to hurt. And so, if I am very diligent about keeping my hips at the correct height, then a lot of my issues that I run into with my lower back doesn't really happen. Like it's impossible, not impossible, but it is very, very difficult for me to try and get to lumbar flexion with my hips set so high because the bar will be pulling me forward. So that is where I'm at right now. For these, for what it's worth, like these RDLs, these felt really awesome. I am trying my best just to be as controlled and be aware of where my body is in space because I think if I can figure out how to be more confident with my core stability and all these things, until that happens, I will need to be very, very careful about generally like where I am in space and how everything looks and feels. So even when I start to go a little bit quicker and the bar hits the ground, I tend to lose a little bit of tension, but as I pick it up again, it fixes itself, and so moving forward, if I have to deadlift like this for a hot minute, then I'm completely fine. The book that I was reading to kind of figure out and help with my lumbar issues talked about retraining the hip hinge rather than just like brute forcing through range of motion, because what has happened over a course of 6 or 7 weeks, um, my lots of reasons could be the reason why, but my inability to maintain correct technique and mobility overall forced my lower back, my lumbar, to really compensate for not reaching depth and all these things. And so at a certain point, it's not going to be strong enough to do that, and it's not going to be happy doing that. And so that breaking point was a few weeks ago, and here we are today. Just slowly, slowly, slowly trying to reintroduce the deadlift. This is the RDL is specifically is significantly more hip hingey than any deadlift I do. I think some people have a little bit higher set hips for some deadlifts, and that's a little bit more similar to a RDL, but that's more of like a straight leg deadlift, SLDL. And then I just wanted to see if I could sumo deadlift here, and I can kind of do it. You can see like in my lower back, it's very hyperextended, and I don't think I'll be able to maintain that type of lower back activation with heavy weights. It'd be cool if I could, That would mean I'm pretty strong, but as it stands now, I'm cool with being able to deadlift just a little bit today. Um, I feel like I said it earlier in the week that like my progress is slow and but sure, slowly but surely I'm moving forward. And I also said like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It feels like 2 steps forward or Monday, Tuesday, 1 step back was Wednesday, and then I'm taking 3 steps forward from Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Um, Hopefully it's only steps forward here from here on out. After the deadlift, I went into some bench presses. I wasn't sure what I was gonna do, like rep scheme or how heavy I would go, but I knew I wanted to do some high reps because I didn't have too much time, and doing 5 5s at like a decent weight would have been a big time time sink. So it would have been time consuming for sure. So I ended up just doing 3 sets of 10 at 185. This wasn't as easy as I had hoped it would be, but what can I expect? I haven't really benched in a very long time. Like, seriously benched in like 3 weeks, maybe even longer than that. So, 185 for 3 tens is not too bad. And then after that, I just ended up doing my back extensions. Again, I was in a time crunch and I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but back extensions make my lower back feel good. So I will continue to do those whenever I get the opportunity to. And yeah, I mean, I am ecstatic with how today felt. You know, it wasn't without pain, but the movement that I did commit to and worked with was, I feel like, helpful, and I'm very happy. So yeah, thank you for watching. That's it for today. Shoots.